Have you ever tried using watercolors with your 3D embossing folders? Today I'm going to show you two different ways to do this, and it's really easy to do. Welcome back. It's time for another Take Two with Therese at Altenew, and today I've got two beautiful floral cards to share with you. I love the Altenew 3D embossing folders, and I haven't used them anywhere near as much as I wanted to, and today I wanted to give it a whirl with some watercolors. Now, the sandwich that I use in my big shop is simply the base plate with no tabs out. It's just the normal base plate, then the 3D embossing folder with the cardstock in it, and then a top plate. That's it. So every machine's going to be a little bit different. Every machine's going to have more pressure. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? So you do need to test your machine. You may need a shim. You may need to change up the sandwiches. Do whatever suits you. So I have used some of the watercolor paper pad cardstock today from Altenew, and this beautiful 3D embossing folder is called the Rose Bouquet. And the first way that I'm going to be adding watercolor is with pencils. Well, they're watercolor pencils. So really easy to do. I have simply just chosen the colors that I want to use, and I'm adding my color to the base of the petals because that's where I want the color to be darkest. Now I do want this to be quite a loose look. I don't want this to be hard. Anyone can do this. Seriously, anybody. So I have added the color first, and then I'm coming in with my paintbrush, dipped it in some water, and then literally just spreading the color out. You may notice that when you lay the color down from the pencils, it kind of has there's such an intense, vibrant color that can leave a lot of pigment behind. So by adding the water to that, it's going to kind of break that up and dilute it and make it look smoother. Now this is, like I said, it's watercolor cardstock, so it can tolerate a lot of water. Right here at the moment I'm not adding a lot of water, and it doesn't take too long to dry, so I can easily come in and add a second layer of color. And I'm doing that by using the paintbrush, dipping it in a little bit of water and using the tip to tip method. So I'm picking up a bit of color off the end of the pencil onto my paintbrush and then just laying it in the crevices there. So the other couple of roses that are in this bouquet, I've done them quite a bit lighter, and I will list all the colors that I've used today at the blog, and that will be linked in the description below. And also the products that I've used today will also be linked below, and they're all available at the Altenew online store. So the big rose here, the pink one, the bright pink one, I wasn't really happy with the way that the color was looking. But what I like to do, if I'm not sure what I want to do with something, is I just keep moving along with my project rather than sort of stop altogether, and because then I might never come back to it. I figure, well, it's just paper. I can always throw it away and start again if I needed to. But what I decided to do was actually add another color over top. So I've chosen sort of a light orangey color here, and it's actually called Maple Yellow, and I did like the look of that a lot better. I also came in with my pencils and added a couple of details just directly to the cardstock. Because you're working on the 3D image, it makes it so easy to add the color exactly where you need, as long as you don't add too much water or too much pressure. Now I came in and did a little bit of shading here, but not a lot. I didn't really want to overwork this. I wanted it to look fairly simple, but you could make this as detailed as you want. So now, how do we get it looking embossed again? Now this is easy. This is my favorite tip of today. Re-emboss the embossing folder. Now it's really easy to see where it lines up with the images because we've colored them now. I have waited for it to pretty much dry, and it didn't take long because I haven't added a lot of water to this panel. And then I just ran it through the embossing folder once more, and that just takes it to the next level. All of those lovely crevices in the cardstock are back where they belong. So for my sentiment today, I've got the fine alphabet die, and I've done some die cutting already. I've die cut the word happy, and this is out of some of the brushed gold Gilded glitter cardstock. It's in the Altenew. They have 5 gorgeous colours in that packet. Through 4 different shades of gold. They're just beautiful. And then a silver or a sterling colour. So I layered that up on some fun foam to add some dimension. And now I'm doing the sub-sentiment, which is from the Birthday Builder stamp set. And I stamped that with some Marshland. I thought it'd be fun to add a few gold splatters, and I've got the ink spray here. This is the antique gold. And then I did cut the panel down to sit on the front of a A2 side fold card, and then simply just attached a few antique gold sequins as well as the sentiment. How pretty is that gold colour? It was hard to photograph though, I've got to say. But very pretty. Not my normal style of card. Let me know what you think, because we're going a little bit different this time. It's the same but different. We're doing, this is the Daisies 3D embossing folder. I thought it'd be nice to change it up and show you another floral embossing folder. You could do this with any of the bouquet flower embossing folders that Altenew have. I thought these two would be a lot of fun. But this time I'm using the Artist's Watercolor set. You could use any paints that you may have, and I'm simply just picking up the paint with the brush and dropping it onto the raised portions of the petals. Now, gotta say, I was looking at this and thinking, this isn't my favourite. It's not going to work. But bear with me, we'll get there. I have used a couple of different colours. I wanted to keep it fairly similar to the other colours, but this one is going to be quite a bit brighter. And I'm sure you probably already know, but when you're painting something, the paint will dry lighter than you've laid it down. So just to be aware of that. I did mix up a couple of the different colours. I like to work from a palette rather than directly from the watercolour set, just because I don't like it to look messy, and that's bad. That's really weird. I know that's weird, but I can't build that bridge yet. Maybe one day when I'm grown up and painting. But I wanted a real loose look here, and that's why I'd done that sort of really easy painting. So to try and get it to look a little bit looser and reactivate the paints a little bit more, I came in with the Altenew water mister, and I've literally, it's just got clean clear water in it, and I've seriously saturated this cardstock, but I obviously, I don't know, it just didn't move like I thought it would. But that's okay. So I actually did set this aside to dry just because I had so much water on there, and I thought I'd add just a little bit more shading on the petals. And all the time I'm sort of thinking about what to do with the center of the flowers, because in my mind I wanted to have them gold, but I wasn't sure how I was going to do that just yet. The colors that I'm using here I will also list at the blog, which will be linked in the description down below. To amp it up a little bit, I decided to add some more splatters, and that's so that the two cards are a little bit in keeping with each other, and I wanted them to be a bit darker, so I added quite a bit of pigment to the end of my brush and quite a lot of water, and I did that with both the pink colour and with the orangey colour here. I'm liking how the splatters look, because I know this is going to be a background to a big sentiment on my cards, so it's not going to be too visible, but I still wanted the gold centers. So I got out my metallic watercolor 14 pan set, and I wanted to use the enchanted gold color, but on the black cardstock it looks amazing, but on the white cardstock it wasn't doing it for me. And of course I had white cardstock here, so I thought, I've got nothing to lose, I'm going to try actually colouring the centre of these flowers in with like a chocolate brown. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it either. And I'd already committed, so I thought, well, I might as well keep going. And after I got my colour down, I let that just dry while I was thinking about what to do next with this design. And I started by actually doing my favourite trick, yet again. I waited for it to dry, and then I did run it through my die cutting machine one more time with the same folder. I just lined it up and rolled it through because I had lost a lot of the dimension in this panel because I'd added so much water there. And by rolling that through again, just added all that dimension right back to the folder. So yes, I did add the gold. You want to know how? I simply came in and painted directly over the chocolate brown centres. I know, I had an epiphany. I don't know why I didn't think of it before. So this didn't take a lot of water. I wanted it to be very intense, so I added only a minimal amount of water and then just painted it directly over top, so it didn't take very long to dry. I also wanted to add some splatters, and I didn't want to use the ink spray this time. I wanted it to be matchy-matchy with the centre of the flowers. So I just used my paintbrush technique, and I've grabbed another sub-sentiment from the Birthday Builder stamp set, and I'm going to white heat emboss that on some jet black cardstock and then cut that down. So this is going to have a really bold sentiment in the center of the card, and I've done exactly the same with the word happy, but this time I've popped it up on some fun foam and die cut it out of some jet black cardstock, and then I did pop up the sub sentiment here as well. I thought about adding some antique gold sequins, but this time, just to change it up and make it look a bit more modern, I decided to go for the black and white enamel dots. I don't know. Which one's your favourite? Let me know. Is it the daisies or the rose bouquet? Are you more antique-y or more bold and modern? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks so much for joining me today. Till next time. Bye.
Hello crafters, Jen here. For more tips, techniques, tutorials, and to discover which paper crafting products are right for you, subscribe to Altenew's YouTube channel. Make sure to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Thanks for watching.